How was the get-together last night?
Absolutely wonderful. It's so nice to see the young men that you you brought them at 18 or 17 to the campus, and now you're seeing them their grandfathers. That tells you how old I've gotten to be. But I was. And every time we connect, it's like we've never been apart. I mean, it only takes about 5 seconds to put your eye on one, and you know his whole life story. That's the incredible part of athletics, and that's the incredible part about being a coach and being able to look over what has happened over the past and bring it up to the future and be proud of each and every one of them. That's incredible. I had a wonderful night.
Does it feel like 25 years?
Not really. Probably like 155 years. But no, it's something that you can never forget simply because, as I spoke with those guys, is that a couple of those players never knew what not being going to the final game was. Like Al Dillard, he played the national championship team and the runner-up team. And I said, you know, it's incredible how many people have forgotten you guys finished second. That's second doesn't mean a whole lot. Today, market, anyone get a chance to be just to the final four is the greatest thing you can accomplish. And so that group that was here last night and will be here today had accomplished that. And that's just incredible. That you can never take away from them.
Was there any particular theme to the get-together last night, or that you guys were talking about? Or
No, I don't think there was any. I think everyone had their stories. You know, it started off with a minnow, which is a small bait to fish with, and they turn into whales. You know, so, but that happens over a period of years when you're telling the story, and it just continued to grow. So I enjoyed the few they told last night on me, and uh, I probably was as probably worse than their nightmare that they'd ever had. But to me, that's how I built character and build toughness, and you know, it's a building process, and those processes you see them not when they're playing basketball, but after what happens, and that's our reward. To me, the coach's reward is what you see after it's over with, not during the period.
Nolan, can you talk about the impact Rose had on these guys? You know, her influence on the players through the years.
You know, Rose an incredible person when it came to my job and what I had to do and what she had to do to help me. You know, we were very fortunate to have Yvonne with us and our sons, but the thing that she was always very adamant about, if they came over to the house, I better not talk about basketball. Not nothing. This is my house. Your gym is over there at Bud Walton. So she was that type of person, and I think the guys respected and liked that about her. We were a family that I had 3 jobs in my life. I won national championships at all 3 of them. And she's never been so proud of the fact that they asked me the question, and she laughed because she knew how happy I was when we won the national junior college championship. So you couldn't believe how happy you were. Yes, and when you won the NIT at Tulsa, you couldn't believe how happy you was. And then when you won the NCAA championship, you don't believe how happy you were. So it just kept going. It got better and better, or it was the same or whatever, but you were very pleased and very happy. And not a lot of folks can say that.
There's been a lot of healing with you in this program. But last night, again, your players talked about wanting your name on the court. I mean, is that, we talked to you, last summer, I think, about that. But how important would that be for you if that ever gets done?
Well, the thing about Nolan Richardson is that I never go into anything expecting anything to come out of it for me in a way where someone names something after me. If you have to petition to name something after me, I don't particularly care to have anything of that nature. You know, I've been blessed. I've been inducted into 13 Hall of Fames. That goes on what I've done and accomplished. It has nothing to do with who likes you or who don't like you. School named after me in my town in El Paso, middle school. I'm very proud of that school, the Nolan Richardson Middle School. You know, recreation centers, streets. You name it. that has been done, and I didn't live in El Paso. I've lived in Arkansas over 30 years, over 30 years. So all my claims of working a major college, 17 years here, happened in Arkansas, basically. But the community in which I grew up, and they know who I am, basically, are the ones who have been able to put whatever they want to. For on the floor, it's Bud Walton's arena, and he paid his money to have that arena built. I know that our teams had a lot to do with it. I know that when I came here, there was 8,000 seats or 9,000 seats in Barnhill, and then it went to the point of 19,600 people, 5 to 6, 7,000 people on the waiting list. That was incredible. Matter of fact, when they were talking about billing it, I was suggesting 15,000, and I wanted 15,000 so we could host maybe an NCAA tournament. In those days, you had to have an arena at least seat 15,000. But when they went up to 19,600 and we had 20,000 in the building at times, that was incredible. Of course, the days are not the same as it was yesteryear. You didn't have every game on television. You didn't have the price going up as high, maybe. You couldn't take your family of 4 to a game without spending tons of money. And our entertainment, that's why my game was an entertaining game. I enjoyed the way we played. Fans enjoyed the way we played. I don't think the opponent enjoyed the way we played, particularly when they came into Bud Walton Arena or Barnhill Arena. So I guess I don't know if I answered your question, but I wished I have.
Hey, Coach, with that team, what was your practice? Did you find new ways? They were so good and so intense. Did you find new ways to get these guys going?
No, I never forget I took Eddie's place, and I had a kid named, he's an attorney in Phoenix, in Memphis now, Scott Rose. We were working out, and we weren't very good, not at all. And my practices were 40 minutes without a basketball. It was running, jumping, weightlifting. It was the whole 9 yards for the first 40 minutes. And Scott asked me a question. He said, "Do we do this every day?" I said, "Every damn day, until we get in our mind and our body in tip-top shape, the way I want to play. You have to be in shape the way I want to play. We're not walking it down, and we're not passing it 15 times before we take a shot. So you have to get in shape." So 40 minutes of hell became our theme, and it had been with me for many, many, many years, even when I was a high school coach, because some of my kids would say, "How come we never ran 40 minutes of hell, Coach, when you were here with us?" I said, "You did. Yours was 32. He just, so, yeah, you're right. We had 32 minutes. So that's how it all started, with the fact that we planned on giving the opponent the 40 minutes of hell, because we had already accepted it every single day in practice. And that's how it all evolved, And so it wasn't something that what can we name this? No. It just came about the way it came about, and I was very proud of the way it came about, because they knew that when we came to work, we came to work. When I crossed that line, and I think Al Dillard said it last night better than I could say it, is that he was a different man outside the line, yes. But when I stepped across that line, I didn't like you if you were my opponent. I didn't like the players if they were my opponents. I didn't like the officials, because I thought they were really our opponents. So, I grew up that way. I played in the times that none of you would even imagine what we had to go through to even play on the court. I used to be a quarterback in high school a little bit, and wanted to be a quarterback, and they wouldn't allow me to be a quarterback because I couldn't call the plays, which is what all the other quarterbacks did, was they sent them in. So it was always something that really bugged me about why it took me so long to get to where I was. And so there's an attitude that's developed, and that's important. And I tell our guys, attitude is the key to any successful person. It depends on what you let them have what they let you do or what they don't let you do. If they let us push and shell, let's push and shell. If they don't, then let's regroup and do something else. I listen to radios from time to time, and I listen to the way they describe the way we play. Can you play like they played in those days? No, there's too many timeouts. It's too this, it's too that. I love, those are the kinds of things that prep me to do what I do, because nobody else will do it. You know, I like doing what nobody else will do, and I like, they say you can't. When they say you can't, I turn that can't into yes, I can.
What do you make of where this program is now, 25 years later?
Well, they've had some series of coaches, not a whole bunch, of course. I guess with Heath, Pelfrey, and then Coach Anderson. I think Coach Anderson brought it out of the ashes. It was in the ashes. It was not any. You could go. I used to could go anywhere, and usually they would recognize me as Rolling with Nolan or 40 Minutes of Hell or something to do with Arkansas. After a while, it was not relevance anymore. Arkansas, I enjoyed being ranked number 1 in the country, or 2 or 3 or 4, and fought for it. Our kids did too. And you lose that. A bit. And as I mentioned to our guys last night, we have all at Arkansas probably played pretty close to 100 years of basketball. And the fans are expecting a national championship, and we won 1. In 100 years of playing this game, how can you expect that? But that's what fans are expecting. I said, I am so sick of the fact that I didn't win 2 or 3 or 4 championships, because the last one, in '95, I thought we were going to win that one. I really thought we'd win that one, and didn't think as much that we would have the '94 in our back. That's the way some things happen. And so that's the deal that haunts me the most as a basketball coach, because I was in a position to win multiple championships, and that was because we had a good coaching group, a good coaching staff, and we had good players. They came in and listened and worked hard for me.
Nolan, do you remember being shorted the full allotted time at shoot-around before the...
Say that again.
Do you remember being shorted the full allotted time at shoot-around before the '94
The
time?
'94, yeah, I remember a lot of things in '94 that used the word "piss me off," but that was something that I think our kids thought it was something that I used for bulletin board material, but it really wasn't. It was the idea of not having the allotted time that we were supposed to have, and they said that they had notified one of my assistants that the time change had taken place, which he never got. And I believe him more than I believe them. And so we got in there and shot a few times, and the horn blows, and they say, you got to get off the floor. And I just told them, there's another example. We had already saw where Michigan was going to the Final Four. We hadn't even played yet. Or we were on our way to play, and they got their names on the T-shirts and the whole 9 yards. So there's a lot of things. And you got a guy on television that, smart, they know everything, saying that the smartest team will win. Everything was building up to me fitting what we needed to go out there and prove to you that you don't have to be a real smart student to be a national champion. If that was the case, Princeton and Harvard and Yale, they should win every day. But they don't even get to the tournament. So you can't tell me about the smarts. Basketball IQ is important. That has nothing to do with you making A's and B's. Basketball IQ is knowing the floor and how to read the floor. And in our game, we teach decision making, which is what you do in life. So if you make good decisions, good things happen. That's the same thing that happens on a basketball court.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay.